Zwemart to talk about the Eswatini risings 1 year later. What has been going on? What is happening? And how does he see the future? Zweli, let me take this time to thank you, firstly, for agreeing to this interview at such a short notice. But anyway, Zweli, it's been 1 year since the Eswatini uprisings. Can you just take us through this 1 year? How has it been in Eswatini? What's going on?
Thank you, Chris. Indeed, it's been 1 year since we witnessed the massacre of the people of Eswatini in June last year. Over 100 people were killed, mainly for demanding democratic reforms. What we have seen thereafter, we've seen the people continuing with their demands. One will expect that maybe the people will now be afraid of after what we witnessed last year. But the people are continuing. Queen, recently the people decided to impose a holiday. The holiday was not gazetted by the government, but through the calls from the pro-democracy groups, they declared it a public holiday, the 29th of June 2022. Nothing, there was no activity in Swaziland. People were staying at home in honor of those who were allegedly killed by King Mswati's forces last year.
Okay, so you know what comes to mind, or what one may be asking right now is, how safe is Eswatini right now? I mean, if I was to leave now, come to Eswatini, who are the people being killed, or is it just anybody that's on the street, or just the people who will be demonstrating at a particular time that gets shot down, and as we read from the news?
So actually, there are various activities, including underground activities that seek to intensify the calls for democratic reforms. You will understand that in many countries, the struggle for democracy comes in different forms. They come through protests. As you might be aware, protest comes in many ways. It comes in writing, it comes in the form of action, and sometimes it comes in a form of underground activities. So now we're seeing more underground activities, more attacks on those who are believed to have played a role in the killing of civilians last year, particularly the security forces. But it's not new, Queen, because the commander of the Swaziland, the International Solidarity Forces, did warn the government to stop killing civilians. And what we experienced thereafter, we've seen 2 police officers have been shot dead, and this has been confirmed by the Solidarity Forces that they played a big role in that regard. The people were killed as part of, the police officers were killed as part of discouraging the killing of civilians by the security forces. So the tension is escalating and the political temperatures are rising.
All right. So anything, with everything happening, any word from government or King Mswati, sorry?
Can you repeat your question, please?
No, my question was, any word from government or on their plan, or what's really happening? What is the future? What are they thinking? I mean, if the situation is not getting any better 1 year later, what is the plan? Has there been any address from King Mswati, for example?
Thank you, Queen. What happened last year around October, President Cyril Ramaphosa did engage King Mswati with the intention of facilitating a political dialogue. But King Mswati decided to delay this dialogue, saying he will wait for his Inkwala traditional ceremony, and thereafter you will facilitate the dialogue and engage those who are calling for democratic reforms. But almost 7 months later now, nothing has happened. And the SADC Troika released a report with the recommendation in terms of reference for the political dialogue. So we're waiting. What the government keep on doing, they keep on saying the government will be, they keep on saying the political dialogue will be held soon. And we don't know when it's soon. But we're hoping, Queen, that eventually there will be a political dialogue in Eswatini.
Right. Okay. So from your end, I mean, as a journalist as well, can I just get your opinion on how not really so much of the soon that government may be talking about or political dialogue that you're talking about, but as you see things as a journalist there as well, what how soon can this be?
The soon, as mentioned.
Or at least the situation to be better.
Yes, the soon will be determined by the efforts of the people of Swaziland or Eswatini, because even the political dialogue or the commitment by the king to engage in a political dialogue came through the efforts of the people. But now, we are now talking about the soon. When is the soon? Because if government says the political dialogue will be held soon, no one knows when is the soon. So now I think the way things are happening in Swaziland, the people are determined to put more effort and intensify the calls for democratic reform. So I think the soon will come as a result of the efforts by the people to continue to push for what they are calling for, what is democracy.
Right. And in terms of your working environment as journalists, how safe are you? Because I think I remember there was one point where there was internet blackout.
Indeed, Queen, the government has been trying all possible means to try and silence the people, and the media always become the first victim whenever dictatorship is apprehended. Internet has been consistently shut down in Swaziland, particularly where they see that the more the people engage in terms of planning their activities on how to push for the democratic reform, the government will just switch off the internet. But for now, Queen, we haven't seen that because it received a wide condemnation from the international community. So sometimes they will switch off, sometimes they will slow it down, and it affects the work of journalists because as journalists we use sources and we use different platforms to make sure that our sources are protected. So whenever they switch off the internet, sometimes we might find ourselves forced to conduct our sources via the ground calls, which is not safe for them. So we always try to make sure that they are protected, and sometimes we wait for the internet to be restored before we continue with our duties.
All right. Zweli, thank you so much for making time to speak to us this morning. And we will keep in touch. All right. Bye-bye.